How many times have you thought about giving up? How many times have you felt like everything was against you? Like the weight of the world was on your shoulders, and no one around you seemed to understand your pain. Maybe you're facing a financial crisis, struggling with family issues, dealing with a broken heart, or feeling trapped in a sense of meaninglessness. And then, discouragement starts to grow within you, convincing you that the best way out is simply to stop. But is this really the end of your story? In the Bible, we find stories of men and women who went through the worst moments of their lives, but chose to keep going. Job lost everything, his wealth, his family, his health, yet he kept his faith. Moses faced unimaginable challenges leading the people of Israel to the Promised Land. David, before becoming king, was hunted down, humiliated, and had to hide in caves. But none of them gave up. They believed, persevered, and overcame. Now stop for a moment and think, what if these people had given up? What if, at their lowest point, they had abandoned their dreams? Their stories would have been forgotten. Their miracles would have never happened. Their victories would have never been written. And today, I ask you, do you want your story to end like that? Do you want to be remembered as someone who gave up, or as someone who fought until the end? Because I need to tell you a truth you may not have realized. The battle you're facing right now isn't meant to destroy you, but to make you stronger. God will never give you a burden greater than what you can bear. He made you strong enough to win. But maybe you're thinking, that sounds great, but how do I apply it in my life? Are you struggling financially? Have you lost your job, or feel like your debts are never ending? Remember what Philippians 4:19 says, "My God will supply all your needs according to his glorious riches in Christ Jesus." That means your provision comes from him, not from your circumstances. But what can you do while you wait? Don't stop searching, don't stop learning, and don't stop taking action. Many of the most successful people in the world went bankrupt before they triumphed. In your case, is it time to look for new opportunities and take a leap of faith? Maybe your problem isn't financial but emotional. Do you feel like no one understands you, like no one truly cares? But is that really true, or is it just what your mind is making you believe? Remember when Elijah hid in the cave? He thought he was alone, but God showed him that thousands of others still stood strong. Sometimes we just need to open our eyes and see who God has already placed around us. And what if your heart is broken? If you feel like you will never heal from that pain, that betrayal, that loss, remember Psalm 34:18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. God is near you right now. He is strengthening you. And do you know who else went through this? Oprah Winfrey was fired at the start of her career because they said she wasn't good enough for television. Today, she is one of the most influential TV hosts and entrepreneurs in the world. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Imagine if they had given up. And now, imagine if you give up. Do you really want to bury the potential that is inside you? Now I want to challenge you. Yes, a challenge. For the next 7 days, every morning, before checking your phone, before complaining, take a moment to pray. Declare that God is in control. Choose to see things with gratitude. Act in faith, even if you don't see the answer yet. And then, I want you to come back and tell me, what has changed in your life? Because the truth is, God honors those who persevere. He didn't bring you this far to abandon you. I know there is still a flame burning inside you. A hope, no matter how small. And that hope is what will lead you to victory. So get up. Your story doesn't end here. The best is yet to come, and I'm here to remind you of that. Now, after everything we've talked about, I want you to pause. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes for a moment and feel what is inside you. Your heart is still beating. Your story is still being written. God is still in control. But can you feel it? Can you realize that, even in your pain, even in your loneliness, you were never truly alone? How many times have you cried in secret? How many times has no one known about your battles? You smiled for the world while something inside you was screaming for help. You tried to be strong when everything inside you wanted to collapse. But listen, God saw. God heard. God felt every tear that ran down your face, every sleepless night, every time fear tried to consume you. And He never abandoned you. Do you remember when you thought you wouldn't make it, but somehow you did? When you thought everything was over, but you still found the strength to keep going? That wasn't a coincidence. That was God holding you up when you had no strength left to walk. And now He is here again, holding your hands, telling you, "My son, my daughter, I never left you. I have always been here. And I know you're tired. I know that sometimes words don't make sense when the pain is too much. But look around. Look at everything you've already overcome. You are so much stronger than you think. You have survived things that many people wouldn't have been able to handle. You have won battles you never imagined fighting. You have defied the odds when everything seemed to say it wouldn't work. So why give up now? Why stop now when the miracle might be so close? We don't abandon the ship in the middle of the storm. In the storm, we hold onto the wheel even tighter and trust that it will pass. Because it does pass. It always passes. If today you feel like you're about to fall, remember this: you are not alone. Close your eyes and talk to God. Give everything to Him. The pain, the fear, the anxiety. Let Him carry that burden for you. You don't have to be strong all the time. You don't have to have all the answers. All you need to do is trust and keep going, one step at a time. And now I want you to do something. If you are hearing this message, if it has touched your heart, if you feel that God is speaking to you through these words, lift your head, look up, wipe those tears away. Because I assure you, God is already preparing a new path for you. And when that day comes, because it will come, when you look back and realize that you made it through, you will understand that all of this was part of a greater plan. You will remember this moment, this voice telling you, "Don't give up." You will remember that it was in your worst moment that God started writing your best chapter. And that chapter will be the most beautiful one in your life. So go, keep moving, have faith, because you have already won. The victory is already written. Just keep going.